welcome. If you're a doctor and you're wondering how to earn more in industry without endless courses, without overwhelm, then you are definitely in the right place. So just to be clear, this is not a lecture, this is an interactive forum to help you move forward in your industry career. So let's get started in introducing some people. Who have we got here today? So we've got Nuala. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name's Nuala. I am the Impact and Growth Lead for Medic Footprints. And I also help businesses in Northern Ireland to support their female colleagues through menopause.
Great. And we've got Raj.
Hi everyone, I'm Rajvia. I am a health tech consultant working with startups and investors in the primary care space. I also work behind the scenes with Medic Footprints, helping with the fellowship side of things.
Fantastic. And we've got who have we got in our audience today? Do you want to put in the chat box or take your mic off and share what brought you here today? We've got Barry there.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello. Hey, what brings you today?
Just curious, I'd seen an advert on Instagram for Medics Footprints and just wanted to know a little bit more about what you guys are about and what opportunities are available, really. So I saw this on LinkedIn and thought I'd attend and see and get a bit more
Fantastic.
information.
Well, today's your lucky day, Barida. We had some technical issues with LinkedIn Live and you've joined the Zoom. So we are here to help you with some free coaching for the next 10 minutes. So, so use this opportunity is all I can say.
Screaming.
So yeah, I mean, do you want to, I mean, actually, let what I'll do just to warm things up a little bit, you don't have to go on camera or anything. I'll just tell you a little bit about some of the common myths that doctors experience when they're developing their careers in industry. So are you in industry at the moment, or what are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, I'm an O&G trainee at the moment.
Fantastic. And what are your plans? What do you want to do?
I'm really not sure. I'm in the middle of completing my global health masters end of this year. And I don't know, like you said, I think the industry in itself is changing in so many ways. And I think the way that the curriculum, the career has been phrased is that there's nothing else except medicine. It's medicine or die. And I think I just wanted to see what else was out there and what other skills I have that could allow me for other opportunities going forward. I'm just at a point where I genuinely don't know, and I'm just curious to see what could be done and what opportunities are available.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. What ST are you?
6.
6. Oh, okay, great. So nearly there.
Yes.
So yeah, no, it's interesting because we've got a number of O&G doctors in our Doctors in Industry program, which helps accelerate doctors to industry careers, particularly higher earning positioning. One of whom is amazing. I don't know if you know her, Lamia Zafrani. Have you heard of Lamia?
I haven't, no.
So she is an obs and gynae consultant, and she is a female athlete herself. So she's an elite female athlete, and she also trains and supports female athletes in the peripartum stage. So her real mission was to work with these national organizations. So we're talking like the big sports organizations, all different kind of sports, Olympic level, right?
Wow.
To go and do that. And she had a baby earlier on this year, literally like 4 months ago. She joined our program and she was like, I know I want to do this. I just don't know how. I'm an NHS doctor. Right. And I know that this is needed because there are so many challenges with elite athletes and women, especially when they want to have families.
Yes.
And they kind of just get written off basically and lose all their sponsorship, and they just have to like retire age like 30. Literally within 90 days of the program, by the end of that 90 days, she was not only speaking to like a lot of really big name organizations I won't mention now that you will know if I say them. She also won a national award, which then got her in the room with these industry people. Absolutely. And she was making like 5-6 figure offers.
That's incredible.
That's within 90 days and with a baby.
My goodness.
I know,
That's insane.
because some of the stories we share, you're like, I don't really believe that as
It
actually.
doesn't sound believable.
Go
I
and
wanna
just
go.
message her on LinkedIn. Because also she started on LinkedIn afresh when she joined the program. That was literally about 3 months ago. Um, and I'm always really excited about people that start afresh on LinkedIn because it's like, right, you can be really laser target purposeful with this.
Yes.
And you don't have like a messy audience. It's like anyone and everyone. You've got a
Yes.
very focused audience. And that just demonstrates how, with a focused audience, you don't need thousands and thousands. You just need the right people in your audience
Very
to
true.
actually get results. And the way we started was not on LinkedIn. It was through her own network. Right. And I'm always about, don't bother about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is about scale, but actually a lot of the opportunities can be gotten from your existing network. So I say, take your phone and DM everyone that you've spoken to in the last whenever and say, this is what I'm doing. Do you know anyone?
Yeah.
Right. And that's how she started. Through those
enough.
referrals, through those connections, there's a lot more trust, there's a lot more credibility.
Yes.
And then we have our own process that we go through when it comes to growing your reach, and getting into people's faces pretty much on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn isn't the first step. That's the visibility step. The first step is clarity. And then there's another Dr. Lauren. Again, look up Lauren Flynn. She joined over a year ago. She was O&G registrar level, ST, similar to you. And she was like, I really want to consult in femtech. I think she was just about to get her first consulting contract. For her, visibility was clarity was key, commercial understanding was key. So when you're going into industry, founders just think doctors are just doctors, which most of us are. But what they're really wanting more of is doctors who have that commercial understanding, at least, not necessarily expertise, but understanding that any clinical advice that you give out, it needs to be in the context of a business.
Absolutely.
Right? It needs to be, how do you get traction? How do we infuse clinical and medical accuracy to actually engage more users, to grow so we can get more funding? Because a lot of health tech founders like don't really engage doctors at the early stage, not realizing that that is crucial to their actual product development.
Absolutely.
So basically, again, we have a roadmap that we use. So clarity, mindset, visibility, commercial, and consulting. And taking her through that pathway, she was able to develop her expertise and confidence in a commercial setting, but also like grew her network. So I remember one of her first posts actually went viral, and it's a picture of her and her dog talking about herself and what she does and what she's passionate about. But that went viral. She then got loads of interest from other health tech founders in the femtech space. And then as a result of that, she then doubled her prices for her existing client. Again, the undervalue piece. Did really well. Recently pivoted to clinical AI. And again, didn't have to do any qualifications. She'd already developed a network of people in health tech through her femtech work. And then an opportunity came up, not even a job, an opportunity. And again, so they essentially created that job knowing who she was without it even going to market. So again, it's all about the positioning. It's all about the roadmap. It's all about really leveraging what you already have. So I mean, I was just going to go really quickly into like the myths that doctors tend to carry going into industry, which slows them down massively. So one is the qualifications piece, which I kind of highlighted.
Yes.
No one we work with we never say go and get any extra qualifications. You don't need them unless it's like, like medicine, you need to have a qualification to do medicine, right? Like you can't go away from that. But everything else, most things you do not. And even if someone does do a qualification, it's really important they understand, most importantly, how to leverage it rather than to say, I've done the qualification, now what? Because it doesn't solve the key problems that doctors have, which is it's basically positioning, selling themselves, and leveraging what they already have.
Yes.
So if you then go and get more and you can't leverage that, then what are you going to do? And we see that a lot with doctors who are doing MBAs, for example. We've had doctors with MBAs on our program. That kind of says it all. And a lot of employers don't necessarily see less and less don't see MBAs as like a differentiator, because a lot of people will go and do it as a really, really expensive tick box.
True.
There's a couple of others, but like I'd love to hear a little bit more from you. Like, yeah, what do you feel? I mean, you've been thinking about this for a bit of time. Where would you see is your next pathway or your
I
key pathway or what the challenge may be?
I think the challenge is, I think probably, like you said, the principles that you mentioned in terms of what the course offers is quite nice in terms of a structure to follow. So I think it's doing this whilst also managing the workload at work, if that makes sense, and not necessarily getting sucked into, well, not say sucked in, but work can be overwhelming, as you all know. And I think it's giving myself that space to allow for creativity to flourish and for me to actually, like you said, have clarity on exactly what I want to do. Because I know there's things that I enjoy doing, I know there's things I have passions for, but actually, what does that look like when it's under scrutiny or when it's then made into a niche or what's the word? I can't think of the right word here. When I'm zoned into it, if that makes sense, what exactly is my point or my passion, and what does that look like in a practical sense? So I think I'm still very much at the early stages and just exploring, not because I'm not serious, but I think I've just not sat down to really think about what that looks like in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is that clarity piece that is key. And
Mm,
as doctors, we do struggle because lack of time,
yeah.
lack of headspace.
Mm,
Yeah, just
exactly.
being drawn into different areas. I don't know if Nuala or Raj has anything else to add to that.
Yeah, no, I think I would probably just say that, yeah, I think it's always that as busy doctors, as busy people, like it's always that fear that kind of life's going to get in the way. But I suppose it's about learning to challenge yourself and say, how will I feel if nothing changes? How will I feel if I'm in exactly the same position this time next year, this time 5 years?
Mm,
And what am I willing to to put in and to invest in myself? And that's what we're bad at as doctors as well. We invest so much in our patients, in our jobs, in our in that caring vocation that we stepped into, that we very rarely think about ourselves and how to invest in ourselves much more than in other kind of professions where people will do kind of lots of other things. But it's just about finding that balance of, like you say, not kind of burning yourself out, not adding to the burnout that you're possibly already feeling in your clinical career, but just thinking what you can do to maximize your work-life balance, and you're, like you say, getting those creative finding those creative outlets and your passion and things like that.
yes, definitely. Thank you.
I was going to say, do you have 15 minutes a day to yourself that you can carve out?
I could make 15 minutes a day. As in
What's
the time is
stopping
there,
you?
I don't. Sorry?
What's stopping you from from taking that 15 minutes a day?
If I'm honest, nothing. I think I probably just don't prioritize it as much as I probably could do. I convince myself that there's other things to be done, or I just need to rest,
Mm,
or not like, I mean, rest is essential, but I think I haven't been intentional, probably is the right word to say, to say,
mm,
actually, let's carve out this time for this. Because I convince myself everything else is far more important and far more urgent in this moment.
mm-hmm. And again, hugely common. And what I've found, especially working with thousands of doctors, it's building that habit of that intention and paying your future self. Like you're investing in your future self in those
Definitely.
15 minutes a day, which you probably spend doom scrolling or doing things that just aren't going to change anything, or getting
Yeah.
caught up in the chaos of life, which will never stop, by the way.
So
It
true.
never. It will stop when you die. That's when it's. I'm not even joking. It stops when you die. And so the question we have to ask ourselves is: do we want things to continue as they are now, or do we want to write a different story to ourselves for ourselves? Because it is about like jumping into that new narrative that we want to create for ourselves, and we have full control over that. But we don't feel that because, again, we just keep ourselves caught up in the rat race of medicine, work, whatever.
Yeah.
But taking that time and creating a habit will
Yeah.
transform what happens next.
Mhm.
And you can make decisions way quicker because you've given yourself that time. And like
Mm,
what I found personally, like when I do give myself that time, like nothing else really matters. Things still get done, things still happen, things are still chaotic. So actually, I haven't lost anything.
Yes.
Giving myself that time.
So true. So true. Thank you. That's actually really very useful, actually. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you think you can start today?
Yeah, definitely.
Yay! Come back and let us know what decisions you make next week, perhaps.
Definitely.
That's
Oh, this
awesome.
continues. Is it going on weekly?
Yeah, we're aiming to do this weekly. We need to set out the tech. That's the aim. That's the intention. So yeah, I was gonna move on to, we've got Katerina, we've got Karen Deep, we've got Nell. You can take your mics off. We are here to coach, advise. This is your time. Let us know, how can we help you? So we've talked earlier just a bit about some of the common mistakes that doctors make moving forward. One of the biggest ones that we see all the time, other than I don't have the time, we just talked about that. I don't have the time because I'm busy, which can be true, but doesn't have to be true, right? In the sense that if we give ourselves time, if we literally, doesn't have to be loads of time, 10, 15 minutes, which we're probably wasting on other things every day, make a habit of it, that can help you move the needle to help you gain clarity and get results. And I wanted to add a bit to that, is that don't spend too long trying to get clarity and make decisions, because sometimes when you get caught up in a circle, it's like your mind saying, I don't know the answer. And the answer to that is you need to find someone that can help you get the answer. And that's another reason why we developed this program. So people get caught out of that, unstuck from the I don't know how to move forward zone that a lot of people get. I mean, I get stuck in that zone, but now I'm quicker to be like, I don't know, I'm going to find someone that does and can help me, because I just don't know how to do this. And I don't want to waste time thinking about how to do it either, because that costs me more than spending the time trying to think about it. My time is like increasingly precious as I get older. And yeah, that's my approach. Anyway, but if anyone else has got anything else, anything they want to share, this is your free coaching period. So Karen Deep now, Katerina, let's hear from you.
Hi. Sorry, is someone else speaking? Hello.
No, you are. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, am I back?
You're back.
Fab.
You're back.
Sorry, I can't get my camera on, so
It's okay.
it's
okay.
just gonna have to be on mute. So I've got a slightly, well, it's probably a similar situation in terms of time. Mine is, so I'm fully clinical in the NHS, but I've set up a clinic on the side, and then I've got this platform that I want to build. And kind of lots of ideas around tech, which I've been working on in the background. Now, the problem is I've got to this stage where I actually genuinely need more time to make it happen, but I don't know how to transition myself out of the NHS and give myself time to build this. And I know you've spoken, Abena, before about kind of consulting and, leveraging industry. But yeah, it's just advice about how to get into that and how to start doing that, because I want to kind of get to the stage where I can just contract myself out for a bit and then spend the rest of my time building my platform and my clinic, essentially, which is where I'm stuck. Is in terms of time, I've input that, there was a point in my life for about 2 years, I was waking up at 4:30 a.m. till 6:30 to do my own business and then crack on with the rest of the day. So I've kind of been there in terms of putting the time in, but now that's not enough. I just need dedicated time. So yeah, it was your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Katerina, anyone who starts a business, like high five, let me hug you. And you've already described the real challenges of starting a business, especially because everyone starts a business as a side hustle, right? You gotta pay the bills, right?
Yeah.
And taking that extra time out of a already busy schedule to really dedicate towards a business. I did that for years. It was only this year that I was full time in this business, and I've done this for 11 years. So I think it's great. How long have you run your business now?
To be honest, I only got CQC registration in October, but the build up has been long. So
yeah, I can imagine. It usually is. I mean, like there's two sides to this. There's, from what you've shared, you've talked about consulting to earn money to then work on your business. But like, which of these is it that you want to focus on really?
Do you know what? I actually really like the idea of both. So I'm a real ideas person. So I don't want to, so I love the idea of building. So I'm an IVF specialist. So I do reproductive medicine. So I've kind of have this idea about building this AI platform that I want to run with from a repro med point of view. But I just have a whole load of ideas that I want to kind of just explore further. And in terms of, and I've done some sort of minor advisory roles and I've really enjoyed them. So it's really hard to tell you, oh, I just want to follow one angle. I suppose my initial stage would be to say, I want the consulting in order to develop my platform. But then actually, if I could develop my platform, I'd also quite like a hand in consulting. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit more about your platform? What does it actually do?
So I'm trained in integrative and functional medicine aside of conventional medicine, and it's a real gap in fertility care. So I'm hoping to develop an AI platform that can kind of walk women through a lot of their symptoms and link them up to appropriate testing and then appropriate clinicians on the other side of that. So there'll almost be two platforms, one for clinicians to kind of engage in and one for patients to come in on. So I'm at the kind of stage of starting to think about how to build it.
Okay. And so how do you make money from that?
You make money from the people coming in. So the people coming in will order tests from you. So these are really highly specialized tests. So they're not your sort of standard tests. And then so you're making money from that. And then you're making money from clinicians who want to be on your platform because that's where their patients are going to come from.
Okay.
And so you're almost hosting a community within, and then potentially hosting a community within that.
Okay. That sounds really great. That's a really great idea, actually. But what's your bottleneck here? What's the main challenge with this? Is it just
the
your time?
bottleneck is the sort of developing the product. So I've got a couple of meetings this afternoon actually.
What element of developing the product could be anything?
Yeah, developing the product. So no, you're right. So developing the platform. So it's whether I use an already built platform, because I've had a look at a couple of platforms, sort of AI platforms in terms of funneling the patient through that process to the appropriate testing, but they were quite basic. So I've got a couple more meetings around 2 more platforms that I want to explore. And then if they're not suitable, it's how do I develop the actual AI behind that? Because it's probably going to have to be something I build if these next 2 aren't suitable either.
Okay, so forget the platform, forget the tech.
Yeah.
Could you run a business that makes money just from the steps you've talked about, which is creating a community, which you can create on anything, and connecting a community of doctors with those who want functional medicine, integrative medicine services, and take a cut from the cost of bloods and investigations and stuff? Without a fancy tech platform to sort it out.
I suppose I could.
We're talking MVP here.
Yeah. So I suppose I could, but it's where would I host it? How would I advertise it? Or how would I host it, I guess? Because where would they meet?
Well, I think there's a lot. I mean, there's so many online software. For example, it could be done anywhere. It could be done on school. It could be done on WhatsApp. It could be done literally anywhere. Or you could just have a type form or a score app where people express, I want to find a functional medicine doctor, and then you've got a whole list of functional medicine doctors. You match them. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, and I see this problem happen pretty much every time anyone has an idea, tech idea, they get lost in the tech.
Yeah.
They need to you need to start with the business side of it if you're going to make money, because tech is expensive.
Yeah, tech is expensive.
So you start off with the actual business working, and then you build the tech around it. So I just did a podcast last week with Julian Nesbitt, who, I don't know if you know him. He runs a Dr. Julian group, which basically he's developed similar to what you're doing with mental health. So he's developed a mental health platform where he connects users to mental health providers. So usually individual therapists, psychologists, you name it, right? And he
Okay.
completely bootstrapped that, right? But he
Okay.
had to make money from it to grow it into a 7-8 figure business,
Yeah.
right? And got investment at some point later on down the line. But the tech is always going to be the priciest thing. And what you don't want to do is start a business and spend a lot of money on tech and time trying to sort
No.
out the
Yeah,
tech when you
exactly.
don't have a business for it to actually to grow it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
No,
best
that's
way to test the business is just to go back to absolute basics and just get people on and
okay.
get someone paying something, and then you've got your proof of concept. And then you can, do you know what I mean? Because it's your
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
your
yeah.
energy, it's your money.
Yeah, no, totally. No, that's a really good point. So yeah, no, I need to explore that then.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, you wanna put more energy and time into this, but the reality is you just need to make money from this.
Yeah, I
And
need to make money. Well, exactly. So that I
and
can actually create time.
well, this is the problem because like if you then decide to go into consulting as well, then that's more of your time that's away
Yeah.
from the business,
Yeah,
right?
I suppose that's
And
true. But
with business,
equally,
you want to know if it's going to work or not going to work
yeah, yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
It's
No,
it's it's hard. It's really hard. But one of the things that I've learned being someone who has a billion ideas a day and likes to do lots of different things, right?
yes.
I love to do lots of different things.
Yeah.
I've been through that route. I realized the hard way that if you really want something to work and see it through and get what you want, which is a step out of clinical and more time on your business, focus on one thing
On one thing. Okay.
and
No,
make it work.
that's really
Put
good
all
advice,
your energy in
actually.
it, make it work, and make money quickly.
Fab.
Focus on the money, not the tech. The tech is the sexy bit. That's the enabler. It's a tool.
Yeah.
But what's good is actually the business that makes companies money, not the tech. We've seen companies like Babylon Health, millions and millions and millions and millions,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
all the
Fall
contracts
apart.
in the
Not
world.
just so
Push
far.
Doctor. Anyone remember Push Doctor?
Yeah.
You
And
know?
more recently, it happened in December, a big fertility clinic, Apricity, which was an AI fertility clinic, just collapsed and just, yeah, gone.
The economics does not work. The business
Yeah.
model does not work.
Yeah, yeah. Can I ask you a follow-up question to that then? In terms of enticing people in, so enticing clinicians when you don't have a sort of client base to offer them yet, would you focus on building that a potential client base so that you have something to offer clinicians, or would you kind of sell the idea to the clinicians and get them on board and then start working on marketing for clients?
I'll put that to Raj.
Sorry, I missed the question.
And Etel, can you drop the link in the chat? So sorry, Katerina, would you just be able to repeat the question?
Yeah. It was just, so if I'm thinking about this platform, would you start with engaging clinicians to join and then start to build a client base? And what would be the attraction to them to join if you haven't got a client base yet? Or would you focus on kind of marketing and building and social media to build a client base, which you could then sort of engage clinicians to want to come on because you've already got these clients waiting for them?
I think in part you've kind of answered the question within your question in that it's hard to attract doctors when there isn't already a setup of patients to consult with. So in the first instance, have you tested your idea out on that patient user group to see, is this something that they want? You could just start by doing some like figuring out the market, testing what level of interest that they have. And then in doing your research, you're kind of creating that that group of keen users who can then be the people who tell their friends about it and bring other people into the fold. So having some customers ready might be a good starting point so that you can then sort of bring in the doctors as a secondary point.
Okay.
I guess my approach on top of that, my approach would be and again, like I don't like ideas. Everyone knows me. I'm someone that loves that, but it's really important to have a problem that you're solving. a really expensive problem that both sides are willing to pay for. Because I would definitely try and monetize both sides, right?
Yeah.
In some respect. And so you've got to be clear on the problem the doctors have, you've got to be clear on the problem that the patients have, right?
Okay.
And just be like, this solves both sides of the problem and connects you to, right? And so you don't, at the end, you don't necessarily have to have either to start. You just market the problem and the outcome. You say, hey, this is your problem and this is what you want. Join the wait list for this platform that's about to come out. Same on the other side. That's how a lot of companies start. That's how a lot of clinics start. You don't start marketing once you're open. You start marketing before you've even put your money down for any building or CQC or anything, right? Because again, you need to test the market. You need to know, is this worth it? Do people really want this, right? And if you've got like signs are wait lists, people are actually signing up. Sometimes testing by even saying, put down, like someone sells a book and they pre-order. Pre-orders. They haven't written the book. They're like, are people actually going to buy this? If no one buys it, you've saved a lot of time. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of approach that you see all the time in different sectors of people testing the market.
No, so
that's a really good idea. You don't need to be ready and done and everyone's there. Especially at the beginning. It's about the narrative. And like GPT is such a great tool to be having these conversations with.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you. That's really good advice. Thanks.
So in the chat box, we've put our industry readiness. So how well positioned are you? This is a self-assessment that you can use to determine where you are in your journey and uncover any potential gaps that you might be. And if you score highly enough, you may be eligible for a call with one of us to go through your 90-day personalized roadmap to see what can you achieve in 90 days? I've already described what you could achieve just from the stories we've shared of fellows. Like that, it could be, and we see this all the time. It could be an actual new role or opportunity. It could be a contract. So we've seen 5-figure contracts in 90 days. It could be you just massively increase your visibility and authority that helps you to get to your next milestone in 90 days. There's a lot that can happen. Don't spend all your time rethinking things, because we see that a lot with doctors. We love to procrastinate and delay and procrastinate. It takes forever. It is costing us more than we realize. Way more. So we say, check it out, see if that works for you, and take it from there. But thank you so much, Katerina. Let's do, because we started a bit late, we'll have one more person. So we've got Nandini, we've got Nell, we had someone else join recently. Nandini or Nell, do you have a question for us? Hello.
No, I don't. Thank you.
Oh, okay, great. Can you want to tell us what brought you here today?
I'm sort of speaking from work, so I'm a consultant physician. I'm just looking for extra additional places to sort of change and see what else I can do.
Fantastic. Well, check the link that we put in the chat box. We have a whole, have you been on our podcast?
Not much. No, I have to say.
Check out the podcast, check out the website. There's a lot of inspiration there. We've also got events that we've run, recordings, and that will give you a little bit more of a breadth of what's out there and hopefully inspire you to take next steps. But thank you for joining. I want to thank everyone who's joined and participated. We will be doing this again. We need to sort out the LinkedIn Live tech. It will happen. And this is what I love about this. Again, we're demonstrating what happens. You do it the first time, it's usually the worst time, right? But as long as we've done it, because we know it's going to be better from now on. So we don't go for perfection here. It's not like medicine where you like wait and you try and make sure it's like 100% before you start. We're like, if we can get 10% and just actually get on, and then we learn and then we go, that is the way forward. So it's a different strategy. And again, a lot of the work we do is about mindset. And how it's so different from medicine. It's 180-degree different. So if you really, really want to move forward with your life, not even like career is like a part of it, it's your life, then we hope to see you again. And if not, fill in the Score app and we'll see you on one of our calls. Right, anything else to add, guys? Rest of the team?
No, thank you everybody for your time today. And for bearing with the technical difficulties.
As I said, it's going to happen. Thank you, Barada. Thank you, Katerina. Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you. Bye,
bye.
guys. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Just going to stop the live stream and stop the recording.